Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through all the noise to bring you insights that actually matter.
Yeah, that's the goal.
And today, we're diving into something I think touches a lot of us. Navigating, well, the really complex world of modern dating. It can be bewildering, right?
Oh, absolutely. And our guide for this one is Simone. She's a pretty popular YouTube creator.
Right. And she has these things she calls dating rules, but honestly, they feel more like essential guidelines, more empowering than rigid, I'd say.
Exactly. And our mission today is really to pull out the practical, no-nonsense insights from what she's saying.
Okay.
So if you're genuinely looking for a serious, long-term partner, these guidelines are kind of designed to help you cut through the noise, identify the time wasters.
Or as Simone puts it very directly.
Yeah, she calls them losers and brokies.
Yeah.
But basically, people who aren't serious, the aim is to help you move towards a real connection.
This isn't about hookups, then.
No, definitely not. This is for an intentional dating, finding something lasting.
And what really grabbed me right from the start is her core idea, sort of the foundation for everything else. She calls it collecting data.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds a bit clinical, maybe, but it's actually a really pragmatic, almost a scientific way to look at it. It definitely sets the tone.
It's a powerful mindset shift.
Yeah. So, okay, let's unpack that a bit more, this collecting data thing.
Mhm.
Simone apparently got this from her married friends.
Done.
And what she saw was honestly pretty eye-opening. Before these friends found each other, they went on what she called an insane number of dates.
Like how many are we talking?
Somewhere between 30 and 80 dates
Yeah.
in just a few months.
Wow, that's a lot.
It really is. And here's the kicker, like you said before. It wasn't necessarily about finding the one on every date or even about romance or sex.
Okay, so what was it about?
It was purely about gathering information, literally collecting data on what they genuinely liked and maybe even more importantly, what they absolutely didn't like in a partner.
Ah, okay, so it's less about finding Mr. or Mrs. Right immediately and more about understanding yourself.
Exactly. It sounds intense, I know, but the logic behind it is surprisingly solid.
Well, it makes sense because it tackles a huge pitfall, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We often make these massive relationship decisions based on like hardly any real-world experience.
Totally. Maybe dated a few people.
Yeah, exactly. A tiny sample size.
Yeah.
Simone even talks about her own experience, how her initial list of what she wanted in a partner was super rigid.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it completely changed as she actually went out and, well, collected more data,
Right.
dated more people.
So the dating process itself becomes a journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
Your preferences actually evolve.
Precisely. You figure out what you really want, not just what you think you want, based on some checklist you made in a vacuum. It comes from lived experience.
And she really committed to this, didn't she? She declared 2023 her year of collecting data.
Wow.
Yeah, making a real effort to meet, quote, everyone, especially around holidays, social events,
So it's not passive. It's an active choice.
Definitely. It shows a real commitment to understanding herself and what she's actually looking for. Okay, so how does this data-driven idea play out in the crucial early stages? Simone has some pretty firm boundaries here.
Right. Designed to protect your time and emotional energy.
First one, no talking stages. What does she mean by that exactly?
So she defines a talking stage as that situation where you're texting someone constantly, like all day long, every day, for a long period of time.
Before you even meet them in person.
Exactly. And her big concern is that you get attached. You start building this connection, this idea of someone.
When you don't actually know what they're like in real life.
Precisely. You don't know their vibe, their energy, how they carry themselves.
Yeah, and that disconnect between online and real life can be huge.
Oh, massive.
Yeah.
Simone points out, someone might be a genuinely bad texter or just have, like, bad vibes online, but they could be absolutely amazing in person. Charming, funny, great connection.
And the reverse is true too, sadly. Great texter, zero chemistry face-to-face.
Absolutely. So this rule, no talking stages, is basically pushing you to move things offline relatively quickly.
Get that real-world data.
Exactly. Meet in person or at the very least jump on a FaceTime or video call. Assess the real chemistry before you invest too much emotionally in, well, a digital fantasy.
Okay, that makes sense. Get the real data points. So, building on that, what about actually making plans?
Yes. Rule number 2. Concrete plans.
Sounds straightforward.
It is, pretty much. The principle is, if someone doesn't set concrete plans with you, there are no plans. Full stop.
Can you give an example? Like, how does that play out?
Okay, so Simone gives this scenario. You talk on Tuesday about maybe doing something Saturday.
Right. Vague plan.
Yeah, But then Wednesday goes by, Thursday goes by,
Mm-hmm.
no follow-up, no confirmation, no specific time or place mentioned.
Okay.
Then Saturday morning you get that text. Hey, still on for today.
Ah, the dreaded last-minute check-in.
Exactly. And according to Simone's rule, your answer should just be no.
Wow, okay. That feels strict.
It might seem strict, but the reasoning behind it is about self-respect. Simone argues that kind of vague last-minute approach is fundamentally disrespectful of your time.
Because it leaves you hanging.
Right. By insisting on clear communication, setting actual plans with adequate notice, you're basically saying, my time is valuable, I have a life.
You expect respect for your schedule.
Precisely. It's a boundary that protects your energy and makes sure you're not just waiting around for someone who isn't prioritizing you enough to make a firm plan.
Okay, so what about when communication just stops? The ghosting phenomenon.
Yeah, ghosting. Simone's take is very direct.
I bet. What does she say?
Her advice is, ghosts you, you respect the dead, and you move on.
Respect the dead, okay?
She calls it one of the most disrespectful things someone can do.
Because it implies you're not even worth a simple text back.
Exactly. Not even worthy of a reply, she puts it. And it's so common, isn't it?
Painfully common. But how does she frame it in terms of data?
Well, this is where her perspective is actually quite empowering, I think. While it feels terrible in the moment,
Yeah, it really does.
she actually calls it one of the best things that can happen to you.
Okay, how? How is being ghosted good?
Because it gives you immediate, clear data. It instantly reveals that, in her very blunt words, this person is shitty.
Huh, okay.
She literally says, the trash took itself out.
Wow.
So instead of wasting more time or emotional energy wondering or trying to figure things out, the ghosting itself is the data point. It tells you this person lacks basic respect or communication skills, and you can disqualify them immediately. Move on. Saved you time.
So it's like a shortcut to knowing they're not right. Okay, I can see the logic there. Less pain in the long run. Yeah.
And speaking of avoiding DS, her next guideline is no games.
Ah, the dating games. Like what?
Like, deliberately waiting to text back. That whole,
Yeah.
he messaged me 3 hours ago, so I'm going to wait 3 hours calculation.
Oh, yeah, that stuff. Strategic delays.
Exactly. Or playing hard to get in an artificial way. Simone's stance is super clear. The moment a motherfucker starts playing games with me, I'm out of there.
No tolerance for.
Zero.
Yeah.
Again, it's about valuing your time and seeking genuine, straightforward interaction, not manipulation.
Okay, so moving past those initial hurdles.
Yeah.
How do these guidelines help evaluate potential relationships, maybe when things are a bit further along?
Right, so this is about gaining clarity and being cautious. Let's talk about rule #5. Labels matter.
Ooh, okay. The what are we conversation.
Kind of. Yeah. Simone's take is very definitive. If you're in that fuzzy situationship zone without an official label,
Yeah,
her verdict is you're single. No ifs, ands, or buts.
you're single. Okay. Why is the label itself so crucial for her?
Because, in her view, if that man wants you, he can put a label on it. The absence of a label isn't neutral.
It signals something.
Exactly. For Simone, it signals that he either doesn't know what he wants, maybe he's a phony, or kind of bluntly, maybe he doesn't even like you that much.
So the label signifies real intention and commitment.
Yes. And wanting that clarity, wanting that label, isn't about being needy or controlling. It's about protecting your emotional investment.
Making sure you're not pouring energy into something undefined and potentially going nowhere.
Precisely. It pushes for honesty about where things stand.
Okay, that flows really nicely into her next point, which feels related. Mixed messages, they don't like you that much.
Yeah, and she acknowledges this one is a tough pill to swallow.
I can see why. It hurts the ego, right? To accept someone just isn't that interested.
Totally.
Yeah.
But her conviction is strong. When someone likes you, you will know. There shouldn't be constant confusion or ambiguity.
So all that analyzing texts, wondering why they're hot and cold?
Simone basically says, stop doing that. The inconsistency is the message.
The mixed message itself is the data point saying, not interested enough.
Exactly. Accepting that, even though it might sting initially, is actually incredibly freeing. It simplifies everything.
Yeah.
It empowers you to just stop wasting your energy.
Mm-hmm.
Disengage from situations where you're constantly guessing or feeling unsure. Trust the clear signals or the lack thereof, and move on to find someone whose interest is obvious and consistent. No more making excuses for them.
Trust the actions, not the occasional nice word. Got it. Okay, another warning sign she flags is beware of love bombing.
Love bombing. She defines it as someone excessively bombing you with love or compliments, especially very early on in a relationship.
Yeah, that over-the-top, you're my soulmate after 2 dates kind of thing.
Exactly that. And it can feel really good at first, very flattering.
Sure, who doesn't like compliments?
Right. But Simone raises two big red flags here. First, it could just signal deep insecurity in the other person, or like a desperate need to lock down any relationship fast.
Which isn't a great foundation.
Not really. But her second concern is maybe even more worrying. What if it's just their personality?
What do you mean?
She suggests that people who love bomb or fall in love quickly, well, they often fall out of love just as quickly.
Ooh, so it's intense, but potentially very unstable. High highs, crashing lows.
Exactly. It creates this pattern of instability and potential heartbreak down the line. So the advice is be wary of that early excessive intensity. Watch for consistent, steady affection over time, not just an initial explosion. It's another crucial data point to observe carefully.
Okay, now this next one. Rule #8. Always date multiple people. This feels like it could be controversial.
Oh, it definitely can be. Simone even acknowledges it, saying, the men are going to hate that I said that.
Okay, so what's her reasoning? Why date multiple people if you're looking for something serious?
She gives a few key reasons. First, it keeps your options open. Pretty straightforward. Second, it prevents you from obsessing over one person too early on.
Putting all your eggs in one basket before you really know them.
Exactly. And third, and this connects back to the core idea, it helps you ensure you're picking the best option for you when you finally do decide to commit to someone.
So it's an extension of collecting data, basically.
That's exactly how I see it. It's not about playing the field indefinitely or being insincere. It's about making an informed choice for a long-term partner.
Because you need comparison points.
Precisely. If you only date one person exclusively from the very beginning, how do you really know if they're the best fit? How do you know what other dynamics might feel like?
You have no benchmark.
Right. Seeing different personalities, different communication styles, how different people make you feel, that wider perspective gives you more confidence and clarity when you do choose to be exclusive. It minimizes potential regret later. It's about making a robust, certain decision.
Okay. Keeping with that theme of intentionality in dating, her next rule is he has to plan dates, no hanging out.
This one targets the ambiguity of modern dating language.
Right. Simone suggests leaving the whole hanging out thing in high school and maybe early college.
Yeah, for adults seeking serious relationships, she argues planned dates are essential, non-negotiable.
Why the distinction? What's wrong with just casually hanging out?
It comes down to effort and intention. A planned date where someone picks a place, suggests a time, thinks about the interaction, demonstrates real effort.
It shows they're intentionally trying to get to know you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It signals respect for your time and a more serious approach. Hanging out, on the other hand, can often feel very low effort, ambiguous.
Non-committal, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't necessarily convey serious interest. By expecting planned dates, you're basically setting a standard. You're saying, I value interactions where thought and effort are involved, which is pretty crucial for a healthy long-term partnership, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Effort matters. Okay, another interesting one. Don't talk about your exes.
Ah, yes. This seems like common advice, but Simone has a couple of specific angles on it.
Okay, what are they?
First, the obvious one. It's in the past, it's not relevant anymore. Focus on the present.
Standard enough. What's the second point?
This is the more strategic insight, I think. She says, if you were treated badly by an ex and you share all those details, a new partner, especially one who maybe isn't great themselves, could actually see this as an opportunity.
An opportunity.
And an opportunity to seem amazing by comparison, just by doing slightly better than the terrible ex. They only have to do a little bit better to easily impress you.
Oh, wow. So you're inadvertently setting the bar really low for them.
Precisely. By not dwelling on past negative experiences, you protect your perceived value. You don't give them a blueprint for the bare minimum.
You encourage them to meet your current standards, not just be better than someone from your past.
Exactly. Focus on building something new. Project confidence in your present and future. Don't get bogged down comparing it to past hurts.
Okay, this feels connected to rule #11. Know exactly what you want in a person.
But with a crucial clarification.
Which is?
Simone really stresses this isn't about a superficial checklist like height, job, car, It's much deeper. It's about what type of person are they? How do they make you feel? How do they treat others?
Core character traits and how they interact with you in the world.
Yes. And she shares this really vivid story from when she was 19. She was on a date and actually lied to the guy because she just didn't feel safe or supported by him.
Wow.
And in that moment, she instantly knew, crystal clear, this is not the kind of person for me. That gut feeling, that sense of safety and support was non-negotiable.
So having that deep self-awareness about your core needs,
Allows you to eliminate people really quickly. You recognize immediately when someone doesn't align with those fundamental requirements for how you need to feel in a relationship.
it stops you from falling into that trap of trying to change someone.
Exactly. She calls it the Bob the Builder mentality. Can we fix him? No. Knowing what you need helps you avoid that completely. It's about self-respect and dating efficiently. Find someone who already is what you need. Don't try to construct them.
Okay, finally we get to rule #12, and this one sounds backwards at first glance. Don't tell a guy what you're looking for.
Right. It seems totally counterintuitive. We're always told communication is key. Be upfront about your needs.
Exactly. So why would Simone advise against it?
Her reasoning is pretty cynical, maybe, but based on her observations. She argues that if you lay out your perfect partner checklist up front, a guy who's maybe not sincere,
Yeah.
he can become that guy temporarily. He can mirror exactly what you said you wanted, seem perfect for a couple of months.
And then he completely changes once he feels secure or maybe gets what he wants.
Precisely. Her belief is quite stark here. She basically says some guys would do anything to get in your pants, including pretending to be your ideal partner for a while.
Oof. Okay, so this rule is about prioritizing observation over verbal confirmation.
Exactly. It highlights the huge difference between someone telling you they are what you want and someone consistently showing you through their actions over time.
Actions speak louder than words, especially early on.
If you give them the answer key right away, they could just mimic it. This rule encourages you to be patient, use critical thinking, and watch how someone behaves consistently. Who are they really day in and day out? Don't just trust the initial sales pitch. It's about evaluating true authenticity.
Wow. Okay, so bringing this all together, what's the big takeaway here for you, the listener?
Well, Simone's guidelines, they are direct, aren't they? Maybe even blunt at times.
Definitely.
But fundamentally, they seem to be about empowering yourself in the dating process.
Taking control back.
Yeah, encouraging you to be proactive, to actively collect data about yourself and others, to set really clear, firm boundaries right from the start.
And to trust what you see, actions, character, more than just words or initial charm.
Exactly. It's a practical toolkit, really. A framework for dating more efficiently and effectively, especially if your goal is that serious long-term partnership.
It feels like it's about being super intentional.
Totally. Protecting your valuable time, protecting your emotional energy, and equipping yourself with the insights to choose the right partner rather than just sort of stumbling into something or hoping for the best.
And hopefully, by using some of these ideas, maybe adapting them to your own style, you can move towards dating experiences that feel more fulfilling and maybe, just maybe, a lot less frustrating.
That's the hope. So maybe a final thought to leave you with.
Yeah.
Given these very practical guidelines and this whole mindset shift towards deliberate data collection, how might really embracing that approach, being more observant, more intentional, how might that actually transform your journey towards finding that meaningful connection you're looking for?
Something to definitely ponder. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
See you next time.
We'll catch you next time.